Have Studio Ponoc finally escaped the shadow of Ghibli and become their own studio with something worthwhile to contribute to the world?
カニーノ
Nope. Kanini and Kano. Studio Ghibli fucking died. After years of Miyazaki retiring, then coming back, then retiring and coming back over and over and over again, somebody finally told him that it was time to move on. Unfortunately, for the sake of the many phenomenally talented animators, Miyazaki insisted that if you didn't create a film exactly the way he told you to, then it simply wasn't good enough to make the final product. All of this information is forgotten when people mention that Studio Ponoc came from ex-Ghibli animators. These people undeniably have the talent required to make a movie that, at surface level, could easily be mistaken for a Ghibli film. Unfortunately, after years of being told that they are only valued for their talent as an animator and having their originality stripped away from them, the staff of Studio Ponoc completely lack any of the leadership qualities necessary to make a Ghibli-worthy narrative to match the Ghibli aesthetic. Inconsistencies plague Kanini and Kano. At times it can be beautiful. At others you get the ugliest CG fish ever created. At times the characters can be charming. But then you remember some dumb fuck had the stupid idea of making everyone speak Pokemon. If Mary and the Witch's Flower showed us that the studio has the talent required to make a Ghibli film, but may have been misguided in their narrative delivery, Kanini and Kano shows a studio incapable of learning from its mistakes and unwilling to risk daring to leave the shadow of its parent company. When one of the notes I took while watching said, literally just, "Who cares?" you know that the film has completely failed at delivering the quality one would hope from a film that can look this good. 4 out of 10. Life ain't gonna lose. Life Ain't Gonna Lose immediately improved my opinion towards the lack of leadership within Studio Ponoc. Finally, the changed art style shows a studio with animation talents beyond simply emulating what came before. It shows a director hungry to make a name for himself, that understands that super detailed animation wouldn't work with the short film he was trying to create. It's the narrative of the film that truly makes me pay attention to the director that has proven his talents, and also that he can make a really fucking terrible movie. First of all, the characters can say more than each other's names now, so I can see them as people and actually care about the struggles they go through, regardless of how mundane they might be. The film revolves around the relationship of a boy with an extreme egg allergy, and how his mother tries to help raise him to overcome what the film clearly presents to be a disability. I won't say anything more than that because it's so short, but trust me when I say that it's worth your time to check it out. Not many films can make me feel anxious from watching a kid eat ice cream. 9 out of 10. Invisible. This film is surprisingly dark when you consider who made it and what it's being packaged with. It follows an invisible man getting ignored to the point of what I can only assume to be a mental breakdown. Honestly, the film is really not sad, just depressing. Like, Jesus, imagine living every day of your life knowing that most people ignore you, that nobody cares about you, and that you are just one of several billion completely replaceable human beings, living a life completely aware that you're nothing special. What a horrifying existence that must be to live in. Farts! 7 out of 10. Overall, it's just a 7 out of 10 again. This video is the 13th in a series of daily uploads where I review some movies I missed over the last decade in the hopes of making the ultimate anime of the decade list. If you have any suggestions for any anime, film or TV released from 2011 to 2020, please tell me in the comments. I want to find out about it now as opposed to after I make the big ass video. Also gonna say some cringy sellout shit. And tomorrow's film is actually a 4-episode OVA series called Hori-san to Miyamura-kun if you want to watch it in advance. I know it's not a movie, but the total runtime is movie length, so I figured now is as good a time as any to check it out. I guess I'll see you then.